My dear friends, have you ever wondered, is God trying to speak to me? Maybe you felt a sudden pull in your heart. Maybe you've had a strange dream. Or perhaps a powerful coincidence that made you stop and think. Wait a minute, is this just random? Or is something, or someone, guiding me? You see, we all long to connect with the divine. And Paramhansa Yogananda, the great master who brought yoga and meditation to the West, said that God is always speaking to us. The question is, are we listening? Today, in this video, we're going to explore 3 powerful signs that God may be trying to speak to you. And not only that, but also, how you can recognize these signs, and respond in a way that brings peace, clarity, and deep joy to your life. But before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome to Divya Antar, a channel where we share timeless wisdom from saints and masters to bring light into your life. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon, so you never miss a message that could uplift your soul. And as you listen today, if something resonates with you, please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to know your experiences. Now, let's begin. Part 1, the first sign, a restless heart that seeks more. Friends, the first sign that God may be trying to speak to you is a restlessness within your heart. Have you ever noticed, even when you have everything you thought you wanted, money, comfort, success, recognition, something inside still feels incomplete? Maybe you've achieved your career goals. Maybe you bought the dream house. Maybe your Instagram looks perfect to the world. And yet, when you put your phone down at night, a quiet emptiness stirs inside. That emptiness, my friends, is not failure. It is the soul reminding you, you are not made for small pleasures, you were made for infinite joy. Yogananda called this the divine discontent. It is not ordinary dissatisfaction. It is the soul whispering, don't stop here. Don't settle. Seek the higher truth. This inner restlessness often shows up in silence, when you are alone, late at night. Or even in the middle of a busy day, when suddenly, you feel, is this all there is? That very question, is this all, is God's first whisper to you. It is the same feeling that led the Buddha to leave his palace. The same longing that brought Yogananda to cross the ocean to the West. And the same hunger that may be stirring in your heart right now. Instead of ignoring it, pause. Listen. That voice is not trying to take away your happiness. It is guiding you to the source of everlasting happiness. Yogananda said, the restless mind is proof of the soul's divine origin. Restlessness is not a curse. It is an invitation. So if you feel this sign, don't numb it with distractions. Don't bury it under work, entertainment, or endless scrolling. Instead, recognize that this is God's first way of calling you home. Part 2, the second sign, synchronicities and messages through life. Now, the second sign. God often speaks to us through the language of life itself. Have you ever noticed coincidences that felt too perfect to be random? You're thinking of someone, and they call you. You're searching for guidance, and suddenly, a book falls into your hands. Or a stranger says exactly what you needed to hear. Sometimes it's even a random YouTube video that pops up on your feed. Or a quote you scroll past on social media. And suddenly, it feels as if the universe handpicked that message just for you. Yogananda said, God is the hidden director behind the play of life. Every event, every meeting, every coincidence, can carry a message. Think about this. Maybe you've had a problem weighing on your mind. And the next day, while listening to music, or watching a simple scene outside your window, suddenly, you feel the answer. That is not just chance. That is spirit speaking through creation. Many people ask, but how do I know it's really God, and not just my imagination? The answer, my friends, is peace. When the message is real, it brings a sense of inner calm. When it is false, it leaves confusion. Let me share a story Yogananda once told. He spoke of a devotee who prayed deeply for guidance. The next day, while walking, the devotee overheard 2 strangers speaking. One of them, without knowing, spoke words that answered the devotee's exact prayer. Yogananda smiled and said, "Do you see? God answers in mysterious ways. So when you notice synchronicities, don't dismiss them. Pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, what is this moment trying to tell me? Life is full of divine whispers. The question is, are we quiet enough to hear them? Part 3, the third sign. The call to stillness and meditation. The third sign is perhaps the most powerful. It is the inner call to silence. In the noise of this world, we are always busy, always distracted. Think about it, our days are filled with constant notifications, endless emails, breaking news, and the pressure to always stay connected. Yet in the middle of all that noise, sometimes your heart whispers, "I just need a moment of silence." My friends, this is not laziness. This is God calling you inward. Yogananda said, "Be still, and you will know that you are God's child." The call to meditation, to prayer, to inner silence, is one of the clearest ways God speaks. You may feel it as a gentle pull. Or sometimes, life itself forces you into it, perhaps through illness, a pause, or a sudden change, so that you finally sit still, and turn inward. Think of the saints. Moses heard God not in the thunder, but in the still small voice. Jesus withdrew to the mountains to pray in silence. And Yogananda taught millions how to meditate, because he knew that God speaks most clearly in the temple of stillness. So if you ever feel that longing, that urge to meditate, don't ignore it. Even if just for 5 minutes a day, sit, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and listen. For in the silence, you may hear the sweetest voice of all, the voice of God. Now you may ask, alright, I recognize these signs, but what do I do when I feel them? The answer is simple, yet profound. Respond with openness. When you feel restlessness, don't suppress it. Seek higher truth. When you notice synchronicities, don't dismiss them. Reflect with faith. When you feel the call to stillness, don't delay. Meditate, and enter the inner sanctuary. Remember, God doesn't shout. He whispers. And those whispers often come when we least expect them. While driving to work, while folding laundry, while watching the sunset. The more open you are, the more these whispers become clear conversations. Yogananda said, when you tune your will with God's will, you will hear him through intuition more clearly than through any human voice. And this, my friends, is the ultimate purpose of these signs. Not to scare you. Not to confuse you. But to guide you back, to the eternal friend who has loved you since before time began. So today, remember these 3 signs that God is trying to speak to you. 1. The restlessness of the soul, seeking something more. 2. The synchronicities and divine messages woven into daily life. 3. The inner call to stillness and meditation. If you notice these signs, smile. Because it means God has not forgotten you. He is knocking gently at the door of your heart. And the only question left is, will you open that door? Friends, thank you for spending this time with me today. If this message touched your heart, please take a moment to subscribe to Divya Antar. Your support allows us to keep sharing these timeless teachings with seekers around the world. Also, I would love to hear from you. Have you ever felt one of these signs in your own life? Share your story in the comments below. Your words may inspire someone else on their journey. Until next time, may you walk with peace. May you listen to the whispers of spirit. And may you always remember, you are deeply loved.